Thank All right, everybody, thank you for joining us this afternoon. I hope you had a delicious lunch wherever you were eating it from. So today we have a presentation, or right now we have a presentation from the Internship and Career Center with Spencer Atkinson. He will be sharing a presentation, and I think a lot of students earlier had some questions about internships and careers, and how early should they start thinking about these things, and I think we'll have some really good insights to that. We're gonna have a Kahoot trivia game at 2:30, and then at 3:30 the undergraduate chairs for both food science and viticulture and enology will be coming and just saying hello. And then we'll have some time for some closing statements or tips or some Q&A if some of your questions weren't answered earlier. And we're just glad that you could join us again. So I'm gonna stop sharing and I'm gonna have Spencer, oops, sorry. I keep on doing this thing and it drives me crazy. All right, thanks, Spencer.
Well, again, hello, my name is Spencer Atkinson. I use he, him, his pronouns, and I am one of the career advisors for Ag and Environmental Science at the Internship and Career Center. I'm joined by my colleague, Lynn.
Hi, everyone. I'm the other advisor, College of Ag and Environmental Science advisor in the ICC, and I'm going to be behind the scenes adding some links, hopefully, or things that might be helpful in the chat. Are you having folks communicate in the chat to you, Spencer?
Sure, yes, perfect. Yeah, as we go, so one of the things that if you ever go on a job interview, you are likely to get asked is, what questions do you have for us at the end of the interview? And so this is a good opportunity for you to practice, kind of prime yourself that at the end that we are going to have time for some Q&A. So I'm going to, when we're done kind of sharing a couple of resources and tips with you, we're going to have an opportunity for you to ask us questions, but you can also pop them in the chat as we go. And Lynn and I will do our best to answer them as we go along the way as well. So first of all, we want to just emphasize, even though you are just coming into your career at UC Davis, the career development is a lifelong process, and it starts wherever you are, right now, and continues on throughout your life and your working career. So we can help with every stage of that process. A lot of the time, students wait until they're at the job search skills piece of this little pie to come in and have us look at a resume or a cover letter because they're ready to actually submit to an application to try and find a job. And while that's great and we love helping with that part of the process, there are a lot of things that we can help with leading up to that as well. And so we really want to just plant the seed for you today that this is a process that we can help with at every stage, whether it's helping you think about your values and strengths and the things that interest you and your passions, thinking about how to go about exploring and learning more about different career fields and paths, ways to get experience throughout your college career, how to narrow in and make decisions about what pathway to pursue, and then the actual process of seeking and applying for jobs and interviewing and all of that. So we want to help with every stage of that process. And so we have lots and lots of services that we provide at the ICC. I just wanted to shout out a couple to let you know how to get started. First is that we have a ton of great, really skilled peer advisors who can help with drop-in advising. These are 10 to 15 minutes, and it's from 11 to 3, Monday through Friday. We have peer advisors available for drop-ins, and they can just kind of check in with you about a lot of different small things, whether that's resume review, cover letter, how to get your Handshake profile set up. I'll talk about what Handshake is in a second. And how to use LinkedIn, how to search for jobs. They can help with a lot of those things as a great starting point. We also have our peer advisors working on a new document review process, which is where you can actually just drop your resume and cover letter into a Google form for us. And then we, in a 3 to 5 day business business day turnaround, we can actually provide some written comments on those docs and return them to you as a first point of review before you have a more in-depth conversation. And then the other form of advising that is important for me to shout out for you today is these 30-minute one-on-one appointments with a career advisor like Lynn or myself. And these are a great place to have more in-depth conversations about your career options, about job search strategies, about networking tips, how to approach professionals in a particular field, how to introduce yourself, how to prepare for interviews, those kinds of things. We also have a weekly email newsletter that you can sign up for at icc.ucdavis.edu/services. And this is specifically for ag and environmental science. So there's going to be opportunities in there like professional development experiences, networking events, job listings, all those kinds of things are going to be included in this. It goes out once a week. We're not going to spam you. And it's a great tool for you to just stay connected to a lot of the things that are coming up and happening around campus and with the various employers that recruit at UC Davis. We've also added a bunch of services since we've moved into this remote environment, including a whole library of short videos in our YouTube channel. These are 3 to 5 minutes, and they're just kind of quick tips about everything from resumes to interviews and more. We've also converted some of our core workshop topics, resume basics, cover letter basics, interview basics, networking 101, into video content also on our YouTube channel. So rather than having to attend those workshops in synchronous time, they're available for you 24 hours a day on our YouTube channel. And we've made room then in our workshop schedule for some of the more in-depth, more engaging, interactive kinds of topics in our workshops, things like career exploration, things like salary negotiation, things like how to apply for state and federal jobs. So we've been able to kind of adjust our workshop schedule because of the remote environment. And we've moved all of our career fairs into a virtual format as well. And so I wanted to just let you know to save the date for the October 14th and October 15th fairs that are the first ones of this year. And they're already open for registration in Handshake, so you can hop in there and sign up and see what employers are going to be there and sign up for group and individual sessions with employers through the Handshake virtual career fair platform. Speaking of Handshake, it is our platform for, it's sort of the hub for a lot of the services that you would access the ICC through. So whether that's the calendar of events, whether that's career fairs, like I mentioned, job and internship postings. It's also where you would sign up for one-on-one advising appointments with me or Lynn. And it's also a great place to network with current students and alumni who have similar interests and learn about opportunities that they might have been able to achieve and learn more from them about how you might go about getting some of those similar opportunities. So there's both a web interface and mobile app, so you can access it in both formats. And it's just, again, it's a really great tool, really simple to use. And you should all already have a Handshake account. You just have to activate it. When you log in the first time, it'll ask you to connect with your UC Davis account. Make sure you log in with your ucdavis.edu login credentials. And if you do have any issues with getting your account activated, go ahead and send one of us an email and we can help you figure out how to troubleshoot that and get that resolved for you quickly so that you can get up and running. So there's going to be 4 things that I want to let you know that you can get started doing right now to get you started on your path of career development here in college. The first is to download our career resource manual, which is a comprehensive guide to all things in the career development process, whether that's job search strategies, resume samples, sample cover letters, common interview questions, how to prepare for career fairs, all of that in this one manual. And it's available on our website to download for free right now. The next thing is fill out your Handshake profile. The way that Handshake works is, the more information you put into your profile, the better it understands what kind of information is going to be relevant to you. So if you've got a complete profile that includes your career interests, your major, some of your past experiences, then when you look for job and internship listings, it's going to promote the things that are most relevant based on your past experience and interests. So having that filled out is really important. Also, having an accurate and complete profile is going to allow you to know, or to have access to schedule appointments with advisors as well. So you can't actually see our appointment availability until you fill out your Handshake profile. And then again, save the dates for those virtual internship and career fairs. The first one, October 14th, is all majors, all fields. And then October 15th is our STEM fair. So it's a more STEM focused series of employers and opportunities. And we will also have several other career fairs throughout this quarter and the whole year. And so on our website, you can see a list of all of the career fairs, the dates, and the specific focus of each fair. And then again, I just want to encourage you to sign up for our weekly newsletter, because this is going to be a space for you to learn about all kinds of opportunities that are coming up. Often we hear directly from employers that they have a job that they're recruiting for that they haven't even posted anywhere yet, and we'll be able to put those things in our newsletter to let you know about them before anyone else. We also include things like professional development opportunities, webinars, things like that. So it's a great place for you to get connected to all kinds of resources for your career development. So I just wanted to end by letting you all know that Lynn and I are here for you, and we're excited to meet with you folks. And at whatever stage you're at in your career development, we really want to help you figure out how to get career ready as you move into the next phase. So with that, what questions do you have for us?
Thank you, Spencer. So if you have any questions, feel free to write them in the chat. I also encourage you to turn on your microphone if you would like to do that as well. And just to start off, I do have a first question for you, Spencer and Lynn. A lot of our students are incoming freshmen and transfer students. Do you still recommend that they attend the job fair, even though they're not quite ready to apply for that career just yet?
Yeah, great question. Thanks, Stephanie. So the short answer is yes, but the reason why yes is because oftentimes those career fairs can be a great opportunity to do some networking with employers. And so they might have, so for example, the way that the virtual career fair is set up is there's group sessions and individual sessions that you would sign up for with each employer that you're interested to meet with. And so the group sessions are really kind of like information sessions. Often they will have sort of an overview of the company, an overview of the kinds of positions that they are recruiting for. And it's an opportunity for you to learn more about the company, ask questions of those recruiters. And it's a great chance for you to start prying now about what are the skills that they look for, right? What are the past experiences that are going to help you be most competitive? And knowing the answers to those questions now can help you a year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, when you're actually actively applying for those things. So getting the chance to kind of have that firsthand conversation with employers as early as possible can be really, really beneficial. Yeah, great question, Stephanie. Thanks.
Okay, Spencer, we got a great question in the chat. Are career opportunities limited for international students?
Great. Yeah, thanks for asking that, Fiona. So there's two things I'll say about that. One is that all on-campus opportunities are going to be available for international students. So that's a great place to start, right? If you're trying to find a way to get experience. And then the other piece is, I would say, talk with your international advisor at SISS, Services for International Students and Scholars, because they are going to help you navigate how to get CPT, Curricular Practical Training, and OPT, Occupational Practical Training, which are the two ways to gain eligibility to work in the United States as a student and then as a recent graduate. And so that's going to be an important piece for you to get in place. Even if, for example, you're doing an unpaid internship, you do need to have CPT in place. And so you want to make sure to talk with them early so that you can get set up with that, so that you can open up yourself to more career opportunities as an international student. Yeah, great question.
Another question that students might have, a lot of them are food science and viticulture majors. Do you send out a list of companies prior to the career fair that might show up that students might want to look over?
Great. Yeah. So yet another reason to sign up for our weekly listserv, because that's exactly what we will be doing. The weeks leading up to the career fair, we will be sharing the names of relevant employers who are going to be at those fairs in our listserv. And we will also be able to then help you think about how to speak with those employers, think about how to prepare yourself to be fully engaged with the employers during the career fair. So we have a series of prepare for the fair workshops that we will be doing as well, which you can find in our calendar of events. And those will be talking about things like, how to prepare your introduction of yourself when you're speaking to an employer. Things like, making sure that you have some form of a resume uploaded onto your Handshake account so that if employers wanted to see one, that'll be available for them. How do you appear on camera when you want to speak to an employer in a virtual career environment? How do you dress for that event? Those kinds of questions. We'll also spend some time talking about those. Yeah. One of the other questions I know has been coming up relatively frequently in some of the other orientation events I've been in is questions related to research opportunities. One of the things that we really encourage folks to do during their undergraduate experience is to get experience in a variety of ways, whether that's an internship, research, being involved in campus organizations, job shadowing, those kinds of things. And understandably, people are concerned about how they are able to do those things if they're not able to do them in person, right? So when it comes to research, one of the things I'll say is that there are a variety of ways that you can do research-like experiences without actually being in a physical lab environment, whether that's, doing data analysis, whether that's doing sort of secondhand research, like looking at the published literature on a particular topic and exploring and understanding those ideas and helping faculty researchers do the literature review. Those kinds of skills are really valuable research skills and show a lot about your ability to think critically like a researcher. So those are things you can be doing remotely, no problem. And there are lots of research labs who need undergraduate research assistants to do those kinds of tasks. The other thing is there are some on-campus in-person opportunities. There may be fewer of them than there have been in previous terms, just because of the circumstances, but there will be at least a few opportunities to do in-person research. And so thinking about how to position yourself to be most competitive for those opportunities, that's something that Lynn and I love helping people think about. How do you talk about your transferable skills from past experiences? If you've worked in a, coffee shop, then you understand the collaboration skill that it takes in order to be a good lab teammate, right? Being able to talk about those kinds of transferable skills is a really important skill that in and of itself is a skill. And so we want to help you figure out how to do that so that when you do approach these researchers and say, are you looking for undergraduate research assistants? You have a good, compelling argument about why you are the best qualified person for that opportunity and for that experience. And to think about the ways that you can be a value add, even in this challenging remote environment, to take some work off of their plate so that you can be of help to them. And that's an important thing to be able to pitch to prospective researchers as well. They don't want to take on an undergraduate research assistant that they're feeling like they're going to have to babysit because they don't take initiative and they don't know what to do with themselves. And so being able to show that you have that initiative and that you can think critically and you can use your skill set to be of help to them, I think is something that will be really compelling to faculty researchers who are looking for help.
So it looks like we have a question from Christopher. Would you recommend starting with the peer drop-in meeting, or should we meet with an advisor?
Yeah, great question. Well, Christopher, I think it depends on what it is that you want to talk about. So for example, we have the document review process, which is great for just like having someone review a resume or a cover letter. And that can be done totally asynchronously, right? You submit it in a Google form, and then 3 to 5 days later, you get a response back. We have drop-in advising, which is great for some kind of beginning types of questions about like, what is a cover letter? Somebody asked me that in one of the orientation meetings recently. What even is a cover letter? It's a great question to talk to a peer advisor about in drop-ins. Or LinkedIn, if you have no idea what LinkedIn is and you want somebody to help you think about how to create a LinkedIn profile, they can be great for that as well. But if you want to have a more in-depth conversation, you want to explore, I'm a food science major, but I'm not even really sure what that means. Or I just really like food and I really like science. Then maybe we could talk about like, how do we match the things that you're passionate about, the things that you're interested in with the career fields that might be a good fit for that. And then we can help you think about what are the ways to get from where you are today to where you want to go 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now. What are the things you can be doing now in order to set yourself up for success in that? So that's a more in-depth conversation. It's a more nuanced conversation, and that's a great one to have in an advising appointment with a career advisor. Great question, Christopher. Thanks.
So I have a question for you, Spencer and Lynn. Can you talk a little bit about transcript notation?
Sure, yeah. So transcript notation is a service that the ICC offers where if you do an internship and it meets a couple of basic criteria, we can then have it noted on your transcript as a line on your transcript, just like a course that you've taken. And sometimes, for example, if you're applying for prestigious scholarships or for graduate programs or things like that, having those things noted on your transcript can be a value add because it's then a sort of a way of indicating that the university sanctioned that internship as a legitimate experience, a legitimate work experience. So it's a really great service that we provide. It's pretty basic. Lynn just put the link there. There's a little bit of a kind of proposal that you submit to us to let us know what it is that you're doing for your internship. The internship has to be a minimum of 4 hours a week over 10 weeks, so a minimum of 40 hours total. And then you need to be supervised by a professional staff person, so not by another student. And other than that, then at the end, you submit your timesheet, self-evaluation, and your employer or your supervisor submits an evaluation, and that's it. So it's a pretty straightforward process, and it's a great way to, like I said, sort of demonstrate evidence that your internship experience was legit. I saw a question in there about practice interviews. Yeah, we love doing practice interviews. So that's a great thing for an advising appointment. If you have an interview coming up for any kind of job, really, we would love to do those practice interviews. The other thing is we have a workshop on our YouTube channel about kind of interview basics. So things like basic interview questions and strategies for answering those, different formats of interviews that you might expect. So that's a great place to start. And then, if you do have an actual interview scheduled, then we love to do practice interviews, as Lynn just said. Yeah. And then can you link your LinkedIn to Handshake? I don't think there's like a formal way for them to be like connected to one another, but there are lots of ways to customize the content of your Handshake profile, and you could include the link to your LinkedIn. So there's a little like about me summary on both Handshake and LinkedIn. And so that might be a place where you would put the link to your LinkedIn in your Handshake profile. Yeah. And we actually do a series of events called LinkedIn Lunches. It's every couple of weeks on Thursday at lunch. And it's things like how to set up your LinkedIn profile, how to use LinkedIn as a networking tool, how to find jobs and internships on LinkedIn. And then individualized LinkedIn profile reviews. So those are kind of the 4 main topics, and we sort of rotate through those throughout the quarter. And so if you're having any questions about LinkedIn and how to use it and how to kind of maximize your presence on there, that's a great place to start. LinkedIn lunches.
All right, thank you, Spencer and Lynn. We have about 1 minute left. And so thank you for coming and answering our questions. This is really helpful to help students get started at UC Davis and understand the resources that are available to them.
Great. Well, thank you all for having us today and giving us some time to connect with folks. And just again, want to, if there's kind of 2 things that you take away from this today, one is sign up for our newsletter, and the other is set up your Handshake account so you can do all the other things that I've just been talking about. So thanks a lot, y'all.
Thanks, Spencer. Thanks, Lynn. Okay. Oh. That's okay, Stephanie. You can go. Sorry. Zoom etiquette is really weird. Let's just say that. Let's see. So next we have a game. We have Kahoot. Let's see. Do we have Mayan and Marai?
Yeah, I can share my screen.
Oh, great. I'll stop sharing mine.
One second, it's not letting me share.
Sorry.
I have a question that students could answer in the chat, but in addition to our orientation for the major, did you attend any other sessions today through the college? I was wondering if they might have had something about financial aid and stuff like that. No? Okay. All right. It's good to know.
Yeah, no, that is good for us to know.
Yeah, the reason why I ask is because sometimes, at least for in-person orientation in previous years, a lot of that information tends to overlap, and so we don't want to keep repeating the same thing over and over. I do believe, Liz, that they should have had financial aid talk about something, other presentations in addition to the major advising orientation. So maybe that's something they're going to do later in the week. Or, I don't know.
I'm not sure, but I mean, we do have a dedicated financial aid office. And most of the financial aid, well, here's Kahoot, but most of the financial aid conversations we direct to the financial aid office because they have more current information than we would, and we don't want to mislead any students, especially when it comes to something as significant as funding your education. But if there are issues, you can always talk to us, and we're an ear. And we might have to direct you to the financial aid office, but we'll always help, what we do have control over is how we can help you and how we can direct you.
Yeah.
Oh, this looks like fun. Okay, so I haven't played Kahoot. I saw it happening at the college, the big giant college presentation, but then I also saw it crashing. We have we have a much smaller group. We don't have over 1,000 students, so.
I'm going to log in on my phone. So
yes, me too. Nice. I'm excited.
I'm really, I was just telling Liz, I'm very competitive too. Okay, so the game pin is 300. 7204.
Okay, so for those of you who haven't played Kahoot, you can join on your computer. That might be a little hard, so if you have a smartphone, you can join. There's also an app, but I don't know how, how easy it is to download and start. Ooh, I like the spoon name. That's from the College of Agriculture and Environmental Sciences, like orientation. They were talking with spoons on like the red carpet as their microphones. It was really cute. It was really fun. It was very popular in the chat too. Oh, and Big Spoon.
Big Spoon, okay.
Yeah, so I'm pretty stoked that these jokes are like flowing through orientation week.
I hate that I missed it. I wish I could have seen that. Okay. So there may be a lag between questions, and so we want to make sure everyone has a chance to respond. And this is just a fun game to sort of test your knowledge. If you get something wrong, it's not like we're going to kick you out of the university. No judgment here.
Okay, so it looks like there's 21 participants and there's like 29 of us. So let us know if you're having any trouble getting into the game.
And it's okay if you want to be a spectator too. Yeah. That's fine. Right. I think we can go ahead and get started whenever you're ready, Maihan and Marai. Can people still join after you started?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Well, we can put the pin in the chat.
Okay.
And if people want to join, they can.
So which of the following foods does not get its flavors from fermentation? Ooh.
Oh wait, we didn't even say that these were going to be major related.
Yeah, so it's like a mix of like VEN, food science, and then just like UCD stuff in general.
Okay. I don't know this one.
Okay, wait. Which of the following foods does not get? This is hard. Thanks for starting off with the hard one, guys.
I think that's all the answers, right? There's 22 people.
I think so.
Whoa, oh my God. Yeah, so pickles, it just gets its flavor from like the vinegar. There's not really any microbes involved. Chocolate is actually like fermented, and coffee too.
This game is rigged.
What about brine pickles? Ooh, I like Nicholas. Oh man.
Maihan, do you know about brined pickles?
I don't pickle anything, so I don't know. What? Oh, now I hear the music.
Which of the following sugars is the sweetest?
Nobody's gonna want me to advise them if I get all these questions.
Yeah. Oh.
So Katie is in the lead.
Yeah.
Oh, Katie.
Nice.
Katie's the one to beat.
This music is really suspenseful. Did we get everyone? Oh, 22.
So the answer is enzymatic rounding for the
I just added the last option as like a trick question.
Can we have some easy ones? I'm dying over here.
Go Katie.
I know, Katie really is. She's just gonna sweep.
False. I think that's everyone, right? 22?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't even know this until like I took food micro. I thought like freezing automatically like kills the microorganisms.
I just think about people getting cryogenically frozen. Like in that movie with Wesley Snipes and Sylvester Stallone.
Demolition Men.
Yeah, I'm aging myself here. I'm definitely, yes.
Wow. I didn't know this.
I didn't know that either.
I didn't know that. Man,
Okay, next.
I was gaining some traction until that Fruit Loop question.
Carrots were originally what color?
What? Is there a class that teaches you this, Maihan?
No, these are just fun facts.
Okay.
Some of them you learn in food chemistry. Yeah.
I think we have everyone.
Where is it going? So it was actually purple. I didn't know about this, but they're like a beet, almost a beet color.
Uh-huh.
It's like beets, yeah.
I've seen purple carrots before. I just didn't realize that was their original color.
Well, it's funny too, because if I were to see a purple carrot, I wouldn't buy it. Like, it's like something's wrong with this carrot is sick. I don't know. I wish there was an option to change your answer. Like,
Yeah, I was like tapping things and then we regret it.
it's like, wait. All right, Katie is still in the lead.
Fiona's catching up.
I think Katie's just Googling.
Now we have the viticulture knowledge questions.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Which of the following is used to classify wine?
Oh my gosh. I just want to preface this with, I'm an expert at helping you navigate university systems, not viticulture and like, I don't have a PhD in viticulture enology.
What? You're not an expert in this, Liz?
No. So I'm sorry if I'm not going to be leading you on this. I think Kate might.
I think it would have been great if Mackenzie was here to kind of tell
Yeah.
us more about this.
I know. We can also check fast with like the chairs later on.
Hmm. Looks like we're waiting for 2 more responses.
So it was actually all of them.
Oh,
So it was a freebie.
Good. I was like, what? Thank goodness.
Spoon.
spoon.
Oh man.
How long does it take for a newly planted vineyard to bear fruit suitable for winemaking? Oh gosh, I don't know.
So it's actually 3 years.
Woo! But I wonder if it depends on where exactly you plant them, right?
Yeah, I think it might depend also, but typically it's mostly 3 to 4 years,
Okay.
apparently.
Oh, Fiona's taking the lead.
What U.S. state produces the most wine?
Oh, wow.
California. Sorry. Probably.
I don't think it's New York. I would be, but maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong.
I mean, New York State, you know, probably not New York City.
New York is actually the 4th most producing, though.
Oh, okay.
Oh, interesting.
I want to get at least the top 4.
Oh, this
Do you
is
have
These are your
advising
questions.
Do you have advising questions?
okay. I feel good about this now.
Okay.
If I get these wrong, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry.
Where do you go for a GE check? Nicholas says, no, this isn't food science.
Sorry, Nicholas.
So you would go to the College of Agricultural and Environmental Sciences Dean's office. But if you switch to a different college, you would go to that Dean's college to get that information. It does differ.
Katie's back.
How many units per quarter must be taken to have minimum progress? Oh, this is a trick question, I think.
Yeah. I guess if you guys aren't getting this right, then that means you still need us.
Oh, good
Oh,
job.
good. 12 units for minimum progress, or 36 units by the end of each academic year. 15 units, if you take 15 units per quarter for 4 years, that gives you the 180 units you need to graduate. Where can you find out about research and internship opportunities? Another trick question. Primarily the Internship and Career Center, but the departments will also share information with you as well. How many eggheads are there on campus? If you haven't been on campus, you might just have to guess on this one, okay?
So there's 7 eggheads.
Gabby.
Now we have a new leader.
What is the name of UC Davis's mascot?
So it's called Gun Rock, not Aggie.
I thought it was Aggie when I first came.
Why, do you know why they named him Gun Rock?
No.
I don't know.
I don't know either. I probably should. Okay. Which of the following are student resources on campus?
You're supposed to select.
You can select multiple.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't know there was an option for that.
This is so climatic.
Gun Rock was named after Gun Rock, the champion horse. Wow, thank you. That's good.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know there was a champion horse named Gun Rock.
Can we move, find the answer? I think 21, we're down to 21 now.
Yeah, the red one was like a trick question kind of thing.
Yeah. They're all student empowerment centers.
Mm-hmm.
I love on my phone, it tells me like, dust yourself off, greatness awaits. Like, I'm so smart. Okay. Ooh, oh my gosh. How many student clubs are there on campus? Ah.
So there's around 800 clubs right now on campus.
So you should find one that fits your personality, and if not, just create another club.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
How many undergrad majors does UC Davis have? So there is 102 undergraduate majors. A lot.
No, this one.
Better, Stephanie.
So that was the RMI. You guys should know this building because you guys will be coming in for advising and classes, etc.
And the
Robert
RMI.
Mondavi Institute.
Yep.
Now, this building is located on the far south side of campus, so it's a little isolated, but I kind of like that because we feel like a big family separate from campus. How many movie theaters are there in downtown Davis? Too many.
Too many.
Too many.
Too many.
Davis is so small, there should, anyway.
Strong opinions from Stephanie. Oh my gosh.
Pam would love this question, Liz.
I feel like if I don't get this right, this would be bad.
Oh my gosh. I almost ordered from them today. They have free delivery if you pay at least $20.
Really? Thai canteen?
Yeah, they have free delivery now.
So there's 7 Thai restaurants in downtown Davis. I thought that was
Oh,
a
that
lot.
tip is legit.
I picked 5. I can't even think of the other 2.
I did 5 too. So.
Okay.
Nicholas is giving people pro tips. Okay.
What day or days of the week is the Davis Farmers Market open?
Are they operating during COVID?
They
Yeah.
are apparently. Yep, it's Wednesday nights and Saturday mornings.
On Wednesdays, they also come to campus, so you can do your shopping, like in the quad.
I didn't know that. The more you know.
You remembered. Wait, what?
Entomology is a study of bugs.
How did you know that was the one I picked? Like, I think I confused it with enology.
Wait, that is not a real Is it really?
It's a unit of measurement.
Oh my God.
All right. Well, there's
I'm
only
gonna
one
follow
obvious-
Nicholas's advice.
There's only one obvious like answer for me. That's a lot of wine.
Buttload of wine.
Oh, this is a good question.
So you can also pursue brewing as a main focus.
Where can you go for help on assignments?
I feel like this should be multiple choice or
Yeah.
multiple selection.
There's
Oh.
2 options. So you can visit office hours or the AATC. Preferably, I don't think you should like bother your professors like before or after lecture, unless it's like a quick question. That's what office hours are for.
You can also go to your TAs, and most TAs are your grad students, so that's a good option too during their office hours.
Oh, I might be an expert at this one.
And these animals are evil.
Oh my God.
They are.
Don't listen to her, folks. Davis wildlife is magical.
I'm just saying 1 squirrel is okay, 10 squirrels, it's war.
So all of these can be found somewhere on campus. If you're near RMI, like you'll see turkeys a lot,
Yeah.
especially around Thanksgiving.
The turkeys are evil. Remember Turkey Tom? He's no longer with us for a reason.
Llamas, there are llamas. Yes. So Scott, there are llamas behind Vet Med. They have like a little, there's horses and llamas. There's a donkey that you can hear. You'll hear him.
Oh yeah,
And
the
there
otters are
is
near
at
the
least-
arboretum too.
Yeah. I saw river otters once. I saw a river otter eating a fish. Yep, and there is a cow with a hole in his stomach. This is why Davis rocks, people.
I've been here for 5 years. I've never seen the otter. I think he's mystical because I don't see him.
You have to go early to the arboretum. And I saw one eating a fish. I have a video on my phone, Stephanie. I'll
You have proof?
Yeah.
We did get that bear. Do you remember the bear?
there.
It was in the news.
Yeah, not on campus. But
It was on campus.
Oh, it was?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. I need to pay attention to these questions.
So not anyone can join the brewing club. You have to be over 21 for the brewing, not Devo.
Oh, I got this wrong.
That was a trick question.
Yeah.
Nobody got it right.
Nobody got it right. That's right, Nicholas.
The game is rigged.
It was rigged.
Yay.
All right.
Spoon's still in the lead.
Is that all the questions? Oh, we have one
One
more.
last
question.
question.
Right.
When is the first Food Tech Club meeting?
I don't remember.
You have to go back and watch the recording, Stephanie.
I know.
Yeah, it's October 7th, Wednesday, next week.
Thank you, ladies.
Mm-hmm.
Spoon, whoever you are, can you message us your name? You could send a private message to me. I'm the Spoon.
Nobody
Please be
got it
honest.
right. I'm the spoon. Nicholas is the spoon.
Is it really Nicholas though? He was complaining the most. He's in last place with me. I don't know. Send me a private chat, Spoon, with your name and your student ID, please. My cat is scratching at the door right now. So where are we with time right now?
We ended early. So the chairs of the departments are coming at 3:30 to join us. And I think it will be nice for you to hear from them.
So we'll stay on if you have any other questions or you just want to chat, or you could take a break, step away from the computer really quick. But I encourage you to come back to listen to the department chairs and their input about the programs. Okay, so we're just going to hang out until that time.
Yeah, we'll be here. Oh, I hear a cat.
Yeah, that's mine. Let me go.
We can showcase our cats if you want to see. You want to see the animals that we have at home. Oh, okay. We have some cat lovers. All right, I'll go and get my cat. Okay, good. Oh, I'm so excited. All right, I'll be right back. I'm gonna get my cat.
This is my baby. Mariah, what's your dog's name?
My dog's name is Sumo, like the sumo wrestler.
Oh, well, it's funny because he's so small.
People are gonna start watching our recording and being like, why is orientation filled with advisors' cats? Oh, look it!
Oh,
Kitty. Aww.
Her name's Pepper. And she has like cute little birthmarks on her face. That's what we call them.
Oh, I love it.
Your
Is
pets
she-
are so cute too.
Is she a Siamese cat, Alana?
She's mixed because all of her siblings came out different colors than her. One's orange, one was black. And so we don't know like how they all end up like different, but they all have the same mom.
Okay. Liz has 3 cats.
I have 2 cats.
You have 3?
I adopted 2 during the pandemic. I had one and then I couldn't handle it. So then I needed more. This is Puffin.
Where is
Puffin
it?
is 4 months old and she's about 5 pounds. She's really cute. The other ones are sleeping, and my senior cat will scratch my face off if I pick her up while she's sleeping. But I still love her.
I wonder, like, if most people in our department have cats. I feel like everyone has cats in this department.
No offense to dog owners, but cats are really having a moment. They're still they're having a moment right now.
Mariah's like, oh.
Let's see. I feel like I can come up with some good Davis trivia. So we were actually, there was before the pandemic, oh, somebody likes dogs better. I like dogs. I actually really enjoy dogs too. I think they can be better companions.
Our advising assistant, Janet, has, what, 5 dogs now? She has 4 pit bulls and another small dog.
A Yorkie.
A Yorkie, yeah.
It's a good match. But dogs are friendlier. Cats are a little bit more aloof, but I like that. We were going to get a cat cafe in Davis before the pandemic, and now I don't think we'll probably get one for a while, but I was looking forward to that.
You were saying something about trivia?
Oh, well, that was like one of my things that I know about Davis. I was gonna say, what's a good trivia question too is how many boba places are in Davis?
Oh. Or here's a good one. Which one is the best boba place?
Oh my gosh. I don't have a favorite one.
T4 downtown is pretty good. Is it T4? Off of East Street, I think.
I don't even know which ones are open.
Yeah.
Oh, Teaspoon. Teaspoon's good.
Mm-hmm.
I like Mandro, the one near like North.
Mm.
They have like a matcha mango latte or something like that. It's just good.
That sounds good.
Mhm.
Akira Coffee and Tea has like an image of a bunny with their boba tea. I think I might need to go there.
When are they going to open up the restaurant that burned down next to Sophia's? I forget. They have the best dumplings.
They were doing repairs, so you can go to the farmer's market and
They're-
get the dumplings.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so they have a booth at the farmer's market where you can get the dumplings. But they were repairing it. I don't know when they're going to open back up. I feel really bad for all the businesses in Davis because a lot have been closed for a very long time.
Yeah. So a few places that I still haven't tried, don't judge me. I haven't tried the hot dogger.
Oh my God.
I haven't been to Burgers and Brew.
What?
I know. Yeah.
The guy that runs the store for the hot dogger is really nice.
Is he? Okay.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to try to sell his business though and move to Hawaii. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, the hot dogger is good though. I feel like if you are in Davis, if you arrive this weekend and you do have a chance to go to the farmer's market on Saturdays, the farmer's market in the meeting or in the morning, they have a corn dog. It's very good. And Burgers and Brew is really good.
Yeah.
What's the best restaurant? Oh my gosh. I don't know.
I, hands down, don't judge me, love Black Bear Diner because it's affordable and you get a lot of food. So.
And if you're stranded in Davis over the holidays, which I hope you aren't, Black Bear is always open.
Yeah.
Or you can come to my house in a non-pandemic. I'll feed you.
I think for me, I like Blackbird Diner because they know my name. They know what I like to order. Do y'all go to other restaurants, Liz, Maihan, Marai, that they just kind of know who you are?
I don't think so. Me and my hon usually go around like different places in Davis, and we try out new places.
Okay.
Chickpeas, the guy at Chickpeas knows my name.
I have his number on speed dial.
But I used to live in Los Angeles, and I really miss like LA Mediterranean food. So it's not the same as in Davis, but so my favorite Thai food is Thai Canteen and Sophia's. They're Thai, but actually almost all the Thai restaurants are pretty good. Well, the ones that I know of, at least. There's 7 of them apparently.
I feel like this is a great Sam question. Our supervisor is Samantha Arcement. She goes by Sam, and she knows all the restaurants in Davis.
Yes.
So.
What else is good? Burgers and Brew is good. When Craigville reopens up, that's a good place to eat.
Have any of you tried the new dorm restaurant? Oh my gosh, what is it called? The Dining Commons, the new one by
Latitude?
Tricero.
Latitude.
Yeah. I like their dishes.
I wish they had dessert though. They don't have dessert.
Yeah. The curry is pretty good. The line for the chicken tikka is always so long.
Oh, they're okay. Well, you will be in Davis eventually. You're not going to be stuck at home forever.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard.
The MU has pretty good food too. So the Memorial Union has different dishes depending on the time of the day. Since we are the furthest building away from the main campus, I only go to the MU on certain days, like when they have that barbecue platter. Have you tried it, Maihan, in the MU? Sometimes they have the barbecue sandwich platter, pulled pork.
Oh, I did not know about that. What days do they offer it?
So pulled pork platter. I will hike across campus for that. And then there's like this sun-dried tomato pasta that's really good. Their burritos.
Trucks outside of the silo. Like I like it when like the food trucks come.
There's a really good food truck. There's like the chicken sandwich. Do you remember, Maihan?
Yeah, the line was like super long, and it was good.
Are you talking about Shaw's?
No, I don't remember what the name was, but
it was like a fried chicken sandwich.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I would say it's better than Popeyes.
Oh,
way better.
Blasphemy, Mariah. Better. What could possibly be better than Popeyes other than Chick-fil-A?
Like 3 times more of the price, though. Also, it was an expensive sandwich.
Sonia has never had Popeyes. Sonia, we need to talk.
There's not one in Davis, though. There's one in Dixon. So if you don't have a car, it will be hard to get Popeyes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We have some people that haven't had Popeyes or Chick-fil-A. What about, I do like the Wingstop. I like Wingstop.
So I think this should be a debate. Who prefers Wingstop versus Fire Wings?
Oh.
For wings, I like Fire Wings. For fries, definitely Wingstop.
I've never had Fire Wings, but for Wingstop, if you ever order from there, you should call ahead, order, because it takes forever to get your food. Like, I try to be very patient with my food service friends, but I just know, call ahead.
Yeah. Maureen, that's right. Fire Wings, I think, is better for their lemon pepper chicken. but the fries are kind of bland. So they have the garlic noodles.
Do we have fire wings in Davis?
Yeah,
Oh, we do.
It's a Save Mart.
All right.
I actually have a question for Maihan and Marai, because I remember last year you participated in the food science research event, and you worked on a team where you made frozen, you couldn't call it ice cream, but you used fava beans to make this frozen dessert. And I think some people might be interested in hearing more about that because that's pretty cool.
So we participated in a product development competition, and we were able to place second place in the nation level competition. But we used aquafaba, which is chickpea wastewater that usually gets thrown out. So we used that to make it into a product, and we made little bite-sized ice cream, little dips, but it's like vegan. Yeah.
But I remember you couldn't call it ice cream for some reason.
Yeah, so we call it frozen dessert because it has no dairy and it hasn't been pasteurized. Was it? Did we pasteurize it in the end?
We did.
Okay, we did.
Linda Harris was like, oh my God, you need to like pasteurize this.
Yeah, things got jumbled up because of quarantine. We weren't able to do all our things in the pilot plant and move forward with actual like mass production. But it was really fun doing it online too, though.
I joined the research event, and this event, they do it annually where students present their projects, and faculty are there and they ask, I think, some really tough questions where you kind of have to talk about the entire process, where you came up with the idea, the cost benefit analysis, and some legalities of it. And I remember a student group did something with Pop-Tarts where they could change the design on the Pop-Tart. They called it an interactive Pop-Tart. I was like, how can you make Pop-Tarts interactive? Do you remember that?
Yeah, it was chameleon doodle tarts. So they use like elderberry, I think. And then like it changes color when it's like activated by like pH or something. So then there's like lemon juice or something.
Yeah. I thought that was so cool. And the fact that you come up with these ideas is super creative. And not only that, but just it's kind of, I guess for me, if we have to present that to faculty with PhDs who've been doing this for so long and they ask you those tough questions, it's like, oh my gosh, but you did so well and you knew exactly what you were talking about. So I thought that was amazing. And for students, I encourage you to at least watch what that would look like. If you're unable to participate, they should do it this year. So. Fava bean ice cream. I didn't even know what a fava bean was. I remember Maihan was explaining it and I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, we're doing signups for product development within the club too this year, outside of like if students are like any questions from about it. We have a product development chair who's gonna help out with those kind of things.
Oh, I noticed we had some questions in the chat. Scott wants to know, what are your favorite weird food combos? Oh gosh.
I like honey and pizza. And recently, I think I've tried out like vanilla ice cream and soy sauce.
That definitely qualifies for weird.
I like putting avocado, mayo, and soy sauce on top of toast. Like mixing that together and then putting it onto my toast. I don't know. It's good. Gives it like a little Asian flavor.
I don't know, Liz, I think you like fried food. Have you ever tried anything fried that was just kind of weird?
No, I mean, I'm like, we'll try most foods once, but I don't like I just add hot sauce to everything. I'm pretty sure my taste buds have like burnt off from like putting like really habanero sauce on everything. So, ooh, watermelon and peanut butter together sounds good too. That's actually kind of cool. I like graham crackers with peanut butter on it, but that's not like weird. That's not a weird combo.
Yeah, I don't think I have any weird. I'm very picky with my food. I'll just say that. And then Maureen, does a pending prerequisite petition matter if the professor said they won't be dropping people from the class regardless of whether or not they have the prerequisites? This is a really great question. And so prerequisite petitions, there are 3 decisions that a professor can make. They could approve it, in which case you are, you're going to keep your spot in the class. They could deny it, which means you're automatically dropped, or they could ignore it. So a lot of people don't know about that 3rd option, which is where they ignore your petition. If they ignore it, it's just going to say pending through the end of fall quarter. Okay. And so I sense that it could cause a lot of anxiety for students who are waiting for their petitions to be approved. I know, for example, with the math department, they have so many courses, so many students. I don't think they check for prerequisites. They do check if you've completed the math placement exam, but in other classes, I don't think they have, the power, the time to go through and check everything. So that's a great question, Maureen, and I think I answered it. And every department does it differently. So for food science, I am the first one who check your prerequisite petitions, and I try to reach out to you before I drop you to make sure that you're either working on those prerequisites or that you have a backup plan in place. Other departments can do it differently. I don't know how you do it, Liz. Do you check your prerequisites or faculty?
I check them first. Some of my faculty are faster than I am, but for the most part, I do it. Ooh, I like all these combos. I'm really curious to like try some of these combos. I feel like they might give me a tummy ache, but I also feel like I need to try them.
I can do hot Cheetos and cream cheese. I'm not sure about the ranch though. Peanut butter and fried eggs together for breakfast.
Okay, so what kind of ice cream with soy sauce, or like vanilla ice cream with soy sauce, or what's vanilla? Okay, I'll have to try that. And dark soy sauce. Okay. That's awesome. And
I'm scratching up my nose. I know there's like no judgment here, but
I like the idea of vanilla ice cream with chili oil. That seems like that would be good. And peanut butter and fried eggs. I will say, okay, this is the one thing I will say. The chairs will probably come in the middle of this and will be embarrassing. Some of my favorite Chinese food is from there's a gas station and it serves Chinese food on like the other side.
Yep.
And I would say that's some of my favorite Chinese in Davis. But then the former owner of that place opened up a new Chinese restaurant off of 5th Street. And that I have to try all of my favorites again, but that's what I'll be doing during the pandemic for the remaining time that we're stuck inside. Do you like?
Carol wants to know, do you like pineapples and pizza?
I do.
I don't.
Nope. Now, if you had pineapple on the side in a separate dish and then pizza, I might be able to do that. I might be able to hang with you for that.
I don't like anchovies. I'm not a fan of anchovies. But some people love them.
Oh, here's a question. Davis has a lot of pizza places. Which pizza location do you like the best?
I like Blaze pizza because you get to customize your own pizza, and it's a pretty good deal. It's $10, and then it's enough for 2 meals, or one if you're super hungry. But I usually save it for dinner.
And can you get unlimited toppings for that deal too?
Yeah. And speaking of Blaze, right next to it is Ike's. And if you have your student ID and bring it, you get 50% off during like 3 to 5, I think, p.m. Monday through Friday. So for students, if you want to get like 50% off your sandwiches, that's where you go.
And this is why after I graduated many years ago, I still have my student ID card. Yeah, I'm totally a student. I gotta go with Woodstocks.
For a slice, so Woodstocks is like classic pizza. Pizza and Pints and Blaze have like that wood-fired burnt, like thin pizza. And then Symposium has more of like a cakey bread dough pizza. And I actually like Village Pizza too. There's a little place by the train station and you just go and get a slice. And that place is really good too. But
Now there's 2 Village Pizza locations, right? One of them's a little expensive, I think. The fancy one.
Yeah, there's a sit-down Village Pizza, which is more expensive. But if you just want like a slice for $3, the one by the train station is good. But as you can see, I have different classifications for pizza.
Have you tried Steve's? I haven't tried that yet.
Oh yeah, I've tried Steve's. I'm not a fan.
Okay.
But I feel like everybody should try,
Someone told me that Steve's has the best pizza for gluten-free crust.
They do have a good gluten-free crust.
Yeah. So, FYI. Now, 3:30, I think we should be, we're waiting for, there's Dave.
Hi, Dave.
And we are also waiting for Dr. Linda Harris. So,
okay.
Dave, we were just talking about foods and interesting food combinations.
We had a break in our programming. So we were talking about food combinations and our favorite restaurants in Davis and all the wonderful things that we have.
Cool.
Do you have a favorite restaurant, Dave, Professor Block?
Well, I have to say that most of my favorite restaurants in this area are either east of here or west of here. There are some really good restaurants in Davis. I like some of the Thai restaurants, and I like Burgers and Brew and so forth. If I were looking for a special restaurant to go to, I'd probably go into Sacramento to Ella's or Mulvaney's or Localis or something like that. Alora is good too. Grange, one of those. There's really a cool, for those of you not from this area, there's really kind of a cool farm to fork scene in Sacramento. So I like doing that. And of course, there's also a lot of good restaurants in Napa Valley, which is not that far away, when you don't have to take all kinds of detours because of fires. And we have all kinds of restaurants that we really like in Napa Valley. So.
Well, maybe we'll introduce Professor Block, who's the chair of Viticulture and Enology, and maybe Linda will show up, or Professor Harris will show up. And so you told us some of your favorite restaurants in the area. Would you like to say hello to the incoming? So we have the incoming food science and technology students, and then we have the incoming viticulture and enology students here.
Okay, great. Well, welcome to all of you, whichever program you're in. I guess to all of you, I hope you're adjusting to, I was going to say life here in Davis, but I realize that many of you, or at least some of you, are probably not here in Davis. You're wherever you're sheltering for the pandemic, but welcome to the Davis community. I'm very much looking forward to the time when people look like people and not little boxes on a screen. I know you guys are too, and meeting you all in person. So in the meantime, if I can focus a little bit on the viticulture and enology students for just a second, you know, I'd like to welcome you to UC Davis's Viticulture and Enology Department. I think it's a very special place, and I'm sure Linda will say that of food science too. But for viticulture and enology, you know, I think the department is a very special place. We always like to talk about it as if it were a family, and it truly is not only a family here in Davis when you're here, but afterwards as well. And it's kind of cool that you can pretty much go anywhere in the world and in the wine world. So I just got email from Linda about how she's trying to get into the meeting but can't. So you may want to.
I just sent her the Zoom link. I was wondering if she was having trouble.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Sorry about that. So, I mean, I think the cool thing with our department is you can go really anywhere in the wine world, you know, whether it's in Africa or Asia or Europe or South America or Australia or New Zealand, and find people who have graduated from this program. And that's really cool. I've tried that, and I've met people all over the world who come up to me and say, you know, my years at Davis were really special, and I learned stuff that's made me successful in my job in the wine industry or the grape industry. And it's really great to have that network. One of the things that I would say is, and this is probably true for food science as well, one of the best ways to adjust to life here at Davis or in the Davis community is to talk to faculty members and staff members. And, you know, you don't have to have a specific thing that you want to talk about, but obviously if you do have specific questions, people are willing to talk to you. But, you know, just pick someone who you'd be interested in talking to and set up a time to talk to them. Especially these days with Zoom, it's really easy to do. And, you know, if you're ever worried about, oh, it's a professor and they're so scary to talk to and this and that other thing, what I've always told my own kids who are college age or just out of college is, all you have to do is when you go start talking to faculty member is say, so what do you do for research? And then you can just sit back for the next 45 minutes, hour, whatever it is, and just listen. And it's a great way to, you know, get to talking to faculty members and meet them. And you never know, because that person may end up being a mentor for your whole career. They may be an avenue to doing undergraduate research and trying that out to see if it's something that you like. Maybe someone who can give you feedback for what courses to take or not to take, or what order to take them in, or internships and be connected to internships around the world. And so it all just starts with a quick email, and nobody expects, you know, this large email. Just send someone an email and say, hey, you know, I'm a new student here. I'd really like to just talk to you. And I think that works really well. So that's one thing that I would say. And the other thing I would say to viticulture and enology students is get involved in student organizations while you're here. For viticulture and enology, that means DEVO, that's our undergraduate student organization. I'm sorry, not undergraduate. It's both undergraduate and graduate student organization. And VITUS, which is the organization that does weekly tasting. So when you become 21, if you're not 21 yet, you can take part in these weekly wine tastings. That's all student run. And it's a great experience to build your palate and just meet people. And that's really one of the key things you're going to do while you're here. You'll grow as a person through the courses you take and the relationships you have, but meet people. And these, in viticulture and enology, these are going to be colleagues of yours for the next 40 years of your career. So take advantage of the ability to meet them now, get involved. All these organizations want volunteers to help out. And so it's as easy as saying, give me something to do, I'll do anything, and you can get involved. And I think for the students who get involved in the student organizations, it's very, very fulfilling. And I think it's important to do. And I'm sure that would be true of food science as well. So with that, the only other thing that I would say is for viticulture and enology students, if you want to know what's going on in the department, like the Facebook page, like the Instagram page, or follow the Instagram page, and so forth. Check out the website. And on Thursday evening at 5:30, hopefully you got an email that invited you to our virtual welcome barbecue. So it'll be about an hour long, and we'll get more specific introductions and so forth, and get a chance to chat with each other. So that's Thursday night at 5:30. So just you can RSVP through the email that you got yesterday.
Yeah.
I think that's it. I don't know if people have any questions on the viticulture and enology side.
We had a presentation from the student clubs earlier today, and we also had them stick around for a student Q&A. And we had the master faculty advisors join us earlier today as well. So we had some good in-depth Q&As, and then we had some light Q&A about food and where to eat in Davis. So I feel like we covered a lot actually today.
Cool.
I don't know, Professor Block, if you had a chance to introduce yourself, but Professor Block and Dr. Harris, excuse me, are the faculty department chairs for viticulture and food science. So if you have any questions for them, this is a great opportunity to reach out. They also teach some of the courses that you will be taking in your upper division junior, senior year. So they have a lot of great insight.
And thanks, Stephanie. I would just say, you know, my background is in chemical engineering, and I teach the winery equipment and winery design class. That's VEN 135 that you'll take either your junior or senior year. I also teach the VEN 127, which is a relatively new course. It's basically taking wines that are produced in the fall and bringing them all the way through packaging and bottling, basically. And I help teach the wine regulation course, which is also a relatively new class. I love teaching. It's one of my favorite things to do. So I do look forward to seeing you guys all there. We have a new course we're going to be offering in the winter for new students. That's a career-oriented course, and I've been helping to kind of create and organize that course with two of our new faculty members, Mason Earls and Beth Forrestal. So I don't know how much I'll stay involved in that, but I've been involved in that too. So, personally, in terms of hobbies, my hobby right now is baking bread. And so I have an Instagram site where all I do is post bread that I've baked. I just had the longest post I've ever had yesterday because I made sourdough for the first time, and it might be my first and last time. Came out okay, but I don't see what the point is. I'm not really crazy about sourdough bread, and it's a lot of work.
You have to share your Instagram. I'm gonna follow you.
All right, it's at Baker's Block.
Oh, okay. Oh, nice pun. Here, I'll put it in here.
I found out last night that, there you go. I found out last night that there is in fact a word limit in Instagram, which I didn't know. I hit up against that word limit. Never even been close before. So.
Thank you, Dave.
Linda, you're muted.
So maybe I'll jump in. I don't know, I went with the original link, and so I was in your waiting room. So anyway, the new link worked. But my name is Linda Harris. I'm faculty member in the Department of Food Science and Technology and department chair. I've been department chair for 4 years now. I'm also a food microbiologist working in the area of microbial food safety. So I do a lot of work with Salmonella and E. coli and Listeria monocytogenes, mostly with tree nut industry and with fresh fruits and vegetables. I'm a cooperative extension specialist, so that is a special type of faculty member that we have at UC Davis, specifically in the College of Agriculture and to a certain extent in the vet school. And cooperative extension specialists do what we call outreach. That is working with the community at large. And for me, that means a lot of work with the food industry, from growers all the way to people making food in commercial kitchens and just starting out in the food business. For a while, I also did some work with home food preservers as well. In the state of California, we have something called a Master Food Preserver Program, where volunteers in the county can help teach people how to safely preserve food at home. So I have a website with another microbial food safety extension specialist in the department, Erin DiCaprio. So it's ucfoodsafety.ucdavis.edu, and there's a ton of information there that you could find on just about anything you'd want to know about food safety and the food supply. I really echo some of, I didn't hear everything Dave said, but when I came in to the meeting, he was talking about getting involved. And I feel really, really strongly about using your time here, not just to take classes, but to build up experiences that can help you build as a professional. And we sometimes call those soft skills. How to organize a meeting, how to run a meeting, how to work with other people, how to write in various different ways, to communicate orally, in short written communications, in larger types of communications. And you get a lot of that in your classes, but as an undergraduate, I have an undergraduate degree in food science, and I got involved in the food science club. And the skills that I learned by being an active member of the food science club, and that went from my undergraduate all the way through my graduate career, really helped me develop my career. It gave me opportunities, as Dave said. I met people, and when you work with them on projects outside of the classroom, you get to know people at a different level. So I made many friends through active participation in clubs. And I also met people, other faculty. I met people in the industry, and that was important in trying to figure out what kind of career I wanted to ultimately have. So I really strongly encourage, I know you've heard from the Food Tech Club, but I really strongly encourage you to get involved there. You probably heard about the Institute of Food Technologists. Student membership is reasonable, and the Northern California Institute of Food Technologists is an industry organization that loves to interact with students. So that's another avenue for you to consider. And if you're interested in food safety, there's also another organization, the International Association of Food Protection. And they just established a California section. Again, Dr. Lucian Wang is an active leader in that subsection. And so I think there's going to be increasing opportunities, if that's your area of interest, to get involved at a level that gets you interacting with people who are out in the industry. We also have a leadership board in the food science department, and there's also one in viticulture and enology. And this is a group largely of alumni of our department who have been successful in their careers and want to give back to the department. And one of the things that they've been actively doing is running a mentorship program. And so they've expressed to me, especially this year when everything's weird. We're not meeting in person. We're doing everything online. Connections are a little bit harder to achieve. The leadership board is really interested in interacting with students through the food tech club, through smaller groups of individuals where they can get to know students and students can get to know them and understand a little bit about their career paths. So I think, lots of opportunity even in this, more restricted structure that we find ourselves in right now, to get involved and to learn more about what food science is beyond just classes. So welcome. If I failed to say that at the beginning, we're happy to have you here, and looking forward to the next year. So thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Harris. Do any of the students have questions for our department chairs? If so, you can type your question in the chat room, or you could unmute and ask your question.
I will note that I forgot to mention that we also have a Twitter account and a Facebook account and a LinkedIn account that you can sign up for. So.
And I'm going to point out that Linda is also an expert at preserving foods, and I've had some of the ones that she's made, and she makes really delicious stuff.
What kind of foods other than jam do you? I guess pickled things or
pickled things. So in the Master Food Preserver group, they teach fermented pickles. They teach what we call quick pickles. So a quick pickle is where you take a vegetable and you add vinegar and spices. They teach drying, so you can preserve foods by drying, freezing. So there's tricks to freezing for preservation. Like if you were going to freeze you harvested a bunch of tomatoes, you wanted to know how to freeze them properly. So let's see, drying, freezing, so then there's canning. And among canning, it can be just canning fruits or vegetables as is, or it could be canning something like a spaghetti sauce or a salsa, right? And how to do that safely. Personally, I mostly, what I shared with Dave, because early in the pandemic, I was exploring my home preservation skill set. I was, kind of doing a bunch of stuff. So I think Dave managed to get some rhubarb jam and some rhubarb chutney. So chutney is like, it's a British condiment that's used with Indian food. What else did you? Oh, I made some lemons. So he gave me some lemons from his tree. So I made some a lemon apricot jam and a lemon curd. So I was busy back in April, but then I ended up, haven't done anything since April.
Getting prepared for fall quarter classes. We have some questions.
I actually have a question. We played a Kahoot game and there was a question about fermentation and pickles. And I challenge, maybe this can help me with this. Apparently pickles don't have fermentation. Is that what the question was, Liz?
Yeah, it was like what food isn't fermented, and it was pickles was the answer, but then our winner challenged it with a good question. Brined pickles. What about brined pickles?
Okay, so I'm going to try and make this short, but there are two types of pickles. So, and in fact, before the 1940s, there was only one kind of pickle, And that one kind of pickle was a fermented pickle. So you can take, and in the department right now, there's a big uptick in interest nationwide on pickling. The fermented pickling type, where you are actually counting on bacteria to grow. So what happens when you pickle something in the traditional fermented pickle is that you are setting up the environment such that the natural microorganisms in a fermented pickle, we'll just stick to pickles right now. You're setting up the microbiology such that the desirable organisms start to grow, and they eat up the sugar that's naturally there, and then they produce acid. And that acid decreases the pH, and that stabilizes. So they use up all the nutrients and they produce acid, and they actually create an anaerobic environment, which also helps to preserve the product. And so you end up ultimately with a stable product. So you go from something that's perishable to something that's stable. So here's a fact about me. My PhD is actually on sauerkraut fermentation. And so sauerkraut is beautiful in its simplicity, because you can take a head of cabbage and you can slice it thinly. You put it in a bowl and you add about 2% salt, 2.25% salt by weight. And you mix that up, you add nothing else. You've got sliced cabbage and a little bit of salt, and you mix it up. And what happens when you do that, the salt starts extracting, the water starts coming out of the tissue. And cabbage, you might not know, it has a lot of sugar in it. Even though it doesn't really taste sweet, it has a lot of sugar. It has glucose, fructose, and sucrose. So all that sugar comes out. The salt inhibits some of the bad organisms, and it encourages the growth of some of the good ones. So there's Leuconostoc mesenteroides, Lactobacillus plantarum, and they start eating the sugars, and they produce lactic acid and acetic acid. They produce carbon dioxide, and in about a week, they drop the pH to a more stable pH, and then that fermentation can actually go on for several weeks, in fact, before you kind of hit a doneness of your sauerkraut. But all you've done there is to manipulate the environment, and the ideal temperature for sauerkraut is if you hold it at about 68 degrees Fahrenheit. So that's the sweet spot. A little colder also works, but you drive this. What happens is the Leuconostoc grow first, then they die off, and then the Lactobacillus plantarum grows, maybe another Lactobacillus have, see, Dave was right. You see, you just have to ask somebody about the research, one little question, and you get 45 minutes of information. See how that's done? So,
well, Alana says, I never knew how interesting natural fermentation is, and thank you. That's what Alana says.
And I think what Linda was going to go, where you were going, is what happens, the way that most pickles are made now, right?
oh yeah, so in the 1940s, kind of World War II-ish, they realized that they could just take vinegar, which is acetic acid, which is one of the types of acids that the bacteria produce naturally, and they could just add that to vegetables. So that happens kind of like overnight, right? All that has to happen is an equilibrium between the acid and whatever vegetable you want to pickle. But if you go into the grocery store and look for a traditional fermented dill pickle, they're kind of a gray-green color. And then you can also look next to a pickle that was a fresh pack pickle, and you took both of them down. the flavor of the two is very different because one is a natural fermentation with lactic and acetic acid and some other stuff going on there that the bacteria have produced, and the other one is vinegar. So you've really got a difference. I also wanted to say that right now, because there's such a nationwide interest, Erin DiCaprio and Maria Marco got a grant this year from the California Department of Food and Agriculture to look at some of the trends in natural fermentation, because people have gone beyond trying to ferment a cucumber, and people are trying to ferment all sorts of weird and wonderful stuff. And so there's a lot of interest in kind of what bacteria, we know what happens when you put salt and cabbage together, but we don't have a lot of data on what some of these other fermentations, what are the microorganisms that are driving those fermentations. So yeah. So there's people in our department who are actually actively working on that area right now.
Thank you, Dr. Harris. So everyone, right now it is 4 o'clock, and technically this is the end of our orientation session. I'm happy to stick around if you have any final questions. Other than that, this is the end, and I do want to respect our speakers' time. Thank you so much for coming, everyone. Fall quarter is going to be amazing. I know it's your first time and it's going to be a little nerve-wracking, but you do have support, and we are here to help you navigate that process. So schedule an appointment, send us an email, and thank you for showing up to orientation today.
All right, thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
everybody.
Liz and
Thank you
Stephanie.
so much.
Thank you.
Welcome, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Liz, do you want to stick around to debrief?
Yeah, sure.
We always do this.